Welcome to the Nerd Party.
I'm Darren Moser.
I'm Philip Gilfus.
I'm Daniel Prue.
And this is City Alpha 3. Hi, and welcome to City Alpha 3, a Star Trek podcast here on the Nerd Party Network. My name is Darren Moser. I'm joined by my two co-hosts, as always, Philip and Daniel. And Philip, have you been watching any Star Trek on those lonely single nights?
This one has been enjoying some Star Trek Voyager. I'm still in season 1, I know there are a lot of guff that Voyager gets about characters, development, and all that stuff, but I was just watching Prime Factors, for those who don't remember that one. That's the one where they go to the pleasurable planet. And
this is not all at all.
Yeah. But I think the beginning and the teaser and the not really coda, but the end are really strong character moments, because like the ending when Janeway sort of has to deal with Tuvok's betrayal, I mean, like, it is great acting from Mulgrew and from Tim and then whoever directed that. It's just really good. I mean, that's, if you haven't watched that scene in a while, it's really good. And then the beginning, where it's just like a small thing of where like B'Elanna and Seska are just doing gossip, and then they're like, is Kim dating one of the Delaney sisters? Like, it's just like little stuff that doesn't really do it. But I mean, like, it's just cute character moments. I just liked it.
Yeah, it's character development.
Yeah. So,
but anyway, I absolutely agree with you, Philip. That the scene between Janeway and Tuvok is great. I'm really glad that later Voyager really built up, and we just kind of learn so much about that relationship over the years, and it's just kind of it's a linchpin of I'm teasing. It is one of those missed opportunities where it's like they've known each other for so long. You would think they very rarely like kind of leaned into that. I wish there was more Tuvok Janeway stuff throughout the series, because it's good. It's good stuff.
Yeah, and I mean, again, I go with, and I'm glad to be proven wrong, it's just hard to play a Vulcan. I mean, Spock, you sort of have the emotional because of being human. It's just hard to play a Vulcan character that's interesting, and it's just, you just look there stiff for 7 years and call it a day, but which is not necessarily.
And he's a full Vulcan,
yeah.
So he doesn't have any excuse for humor.
Yeah. So, but anyway, enjoying Voyager.
Good. What about you, Daniel? Any fun hanging out with other podcasters, maybe? Just enjoying your East Coast life?
You should have asked Philip this, because he came to me. I just said, I put a beacon up. I said, does anybody want to hang out? And Philip just showed up. It was great. We had a little bit of a mini, a 2/3 podcast reunion, if you will. The cool.
Is it really a reunion when you're just excluding one member?
The cool Coast,
the East Coast. That's right.
Wow.
To hang out. So Philip had some business here in the nation's capital. So we got to hang out for an evening. It was good. It was a good time. And we got to say our goodbyes as Philip is departing our great country. The sea to shining sea, to go across the other sea to the other shining sea. Anyways, he'll be gone. So it was good to see him, and we hung out and had a good time. So.
My cousin who lives in Scotland was out this last weekend visiting, and so of course I was giving her a little bit of a elbow rubbing, and just my go-to joke as we were driving along the Pacific Coast Highway, I pointed out and said, "That's the Pacific Ocean. I know you're used to seeing the Atlantic when you look out your window. This is a different ocean, and we drive on the right side." So you're going to get all that same bluster now, Philip, going forward.
Okay, I thought you just kept saying, I'd go faster, but this is all I can go. Giving her all I go.
I can't, is that kilometers or miles per hour? No. But yeah, no new Trek for me. Just been watching a couple of SG-1 episodes, as it's been really fun talking with friend of the network, Norm, as he has been watching SG-1 for the first time ever. And that is... It's kind of the reversal of that other summer where I watched Babylon 5 for the first time and got to chat with him about it. So always fun sharing old is new sci-fi.
Speaking of that, like literally of that exactly, we talked about this last week before the episode, and I don't know if you guys have seen God, now I'm going to forget his name. The guy, the Babylon 5 guy.
JMS.
JMS, yeah. He they asked him, like, what's going on? Like, why are you doing this? Because we talked about it, like, what other creator gets to reboot their own thing? And he's like, oh, man.
And I said Roddenberry, but you guys
that did not
poo-pooed
count.
that.
That's not a reboot.
That's not a reboot. And he was like, oh, man, imagine if I had known... If I had like the technological and like the writing prowess that I do now back then, what would it be like? So it's like, no, he sounds like he's just redoing it. He's just gonna redo it himself, and it's just really, it's a really bizarre.
Tell a slightly different story. I don't think it's supposed to be the same story. Like I'm not expecting, and this episode is exactly the same as that episode. But that was a really good point he made though of like. I'm a much better storyteller now, and imagine the story I'm going to tell for you. And I'm like, oh, okay, I'm interested now.
And it'll be updated effects, so Daniel will stop bitching about the CG.
No, they need to go with the standard effects. All the money goes into the writing, and the opening. You're like, did they upload the wrong resolution? Because this looks really pixelated. Like, yeah. Although, honestly, I think nowadays it'd be almost harder to like recreate old effects, just like crank out, pull out a Windows 95 machine.
He's past 10, 15, 20, 30.
He's done a lot of stuff.
Comic book
writing.
I know he's all over the place, but I was just curious if there was anything that's like reached like...
Thor. Have you heard of that movie, Daniel?
Did he write Thor?
He wrote the movie and the comics. Yeah. That's why he's...
Thor.
Yeah, if you remember the movie, he's the guy he's like the old guy not old guy, but the guy in the truck pulling the hammer.
Okay.
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah. Yeah, but yeah.
I didn't know that, but that's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
So he's still fairly active writing for comics and stuff.
Yeah, he did Sense8. I don't know if you watched that on Netflix. That was sort of his other show. Kind of a global trotting series where people could sort of inhabit each other. I haven't watched all of it, but it was interesting. But yeah.
Okay.
All right, but today we are going to be talking about more Lower Decks as we work through Season 2. We are on Episode 8, Excretus, which, guys, right off the bat, the episode title dropped, like, really late in the episode.
Of all the things to complain about, like, when the title of the episode, it only has to deal with, like, 5 seconds of the show.
Yeah,
I'm like, did they just not think of one?
Yeah, I was kind of taken aback. I'm like, really? There's probably a lot of other, like, Upper Decks. Boom! Instant better title.
I was thinking Things Fall Apart, just because, like, the body falls apart. But anyway.
Yeah, it's... Or something, but it's like that placeholder title you put in. You're like, if we think of something better, we'll change, and then you never change it.
Is there some origin of the word that I'm unaware of?
I think it's just a dumb joke.
Okay.
Yeah.
I assumed it was a dumb joke. Of course,
it's a joke on Locutus.
Right, but like, do we know
on poop?
Yeah,
it's not. It's ain't Shakespeare, Daniel.
Well,
that was the last episode.
I know. That's why this one was not. Yeah.
Okay.
Iborg, but we all know that.
I get that. I just was. I thought there was something deeper that I wasn't.
Let's pick one of our worst jokes and make it the episode title.
Okay, fair enough.
So
pretty much, at least what we can tell. We'll have to wait for the behind-the-scene documentary. But surprisingly, the Borg has very little to do with the actual episode. It is all about this... what would you call it? Well, actually, so wait. Before we even get started in the A-plot, we have the open. We get the final...
That's right.
Or one of the
teaser
final
scene.
shots from the teaser that wrongfully said it could be just made for the teaser, but we have our Lower Decks foursome stranded on that station. We've all seen that station. It's like Station 47. It's been in a bunch of TNG episodes where it's got the array on one side, and it's I love that they reuse that model or the look of that station where they get left behind before the opening credits. But
also 6 hours of air, I don't know, I'm not buying it.
Do we have a lot of oxygen, or what's going on here?
Also, they didn't check out their spacesuits. Come on, that does seem like
that's
Yeah, but even if they didn't check out their spacesuits, they obviously were on some sort of task, which would have been logged somewhere of like, these 4 people need to go do X, which is off the ship. But yeah, it's very lax. I don't know. Shacks. Gosh.
Yeah, I know.
Shax is slipping. I think we need to reduce him back to.
Well, we'll
Lieutenant
talk a
Junior
lot
grade.
about
Kayshawn would never make that mistake.
Oh no, Kayshawn would not. He'd be like, "My friends, where have they gone?"
Oh, the lost keys at Trafalgar. That's basically.
Do you remember, Philip, when you tweeted Mike McMahon about Kayshawn and like you're like, "Oh, he's not going to just disappear under the rug and go away and be gone." And he was like, "No way! Watch this week's episode." And then we haven't seen him since.
I asked my little treat was, did he get Pulaski'd? That was.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, I guess we're fully in the.
We have 2 more episodes left. Come on now.
Yeah. Who knows? I want one of their warships to show up again. That'd be awesome, and no one can understand them. All right, but that is not the plot. The plot is it's Upper Decks Day here, and
by the way, did I call this plot last week? And I'm not saying.
Yeah, you did. Well, you said that they were swapping.
Yeah.
Or no, I think they had a 1-sentence synopsis on Memory Alpha before the episode aired. I think we read it last week, but that could maybe you divined it out of the ether.
Yeah.
But we get these fly-looking holo-pods, and
it seemed the obvious joke, and they didn't do it.
And we have a Starfleet drill instructor who's visiting the ship to conduct. What are the readiness drills?
There you go. I like it.
I guess, yeah. And she, of course, is a Pandorian. Yeah, Pandora. But she's the same creature from the animated series where she can split into 3 parts and float around and tells really bad jokes, apparently. But again, another nice nod to the animated series. I mean, season 1 we had another member of Ares species.
Oh, that's right. You're right. Yeah.
Which was kind of cool. With his little cloak. So yeah, always for
I
more
always
animated.
talk like this.
Yeah. Always sinister. But yeah, so apparently the scores are down and we need to put members in the holo-pod. Was there an A and B plot in this? It kind of felt very together. I mean, I guess you could say the upper deck people doing lower deck stuff is kind of a side plot,
and then vice versa. But
it's very integrated in the main plot. 2 sides of the same.
Oh, I'm waiting for Daniel's rant about how these holographic tubes work, because I know you're so.
Well, here's the thing. I actually thought that the holo-pods that they had were really cool. Like, I thought that was a really good idea.
That's all you need to do this.
You don't need a ginormous room if you're going to go into a hollow room, hollow deck, a hollow suite by yourself. If you're just going in there alone, that's kind of wasted space. So this kind of holopod idea, I was like, I'm right behind. Like, you could have this. You could put one of these in every quarter. Like, everybody could have access to a holopod, and then you wouldn't need these massive holodecks unless you were doing a shared activity. Then I thought multiplayer games. You could all have your own holopod, and then you wouldn't need to be in the same area, and you could still play together. So I don't know. This is actually kind of a better system than an actual hollow room.
Well, and it was interesting that, the time where Mariner was in the mirror universe and there was Mirror Boimler, I almost expected her to be like, Boimler, what are you doing in my simulation? Because I almost expected that to be where the writers are going to take it. But they didn't have any multiplayer, as you said, Daniel. But I did freeze frame when they were the first time they had the stats board, which I kept thinking of like Monsters Incorporated, where they have the top scarers listed on the board behind them. But some of the unseen and unlisted or listed scenarios were time trap, Tribble Trouble, from Q to Q, Borg encounter, cause and effect, natural selection, evolution, survival of the fittest, chain of command, hero worship, carbon-based units, and naked time.
And of
So,
course,
yes.
it's obvious, but I'll still go ahead and say half of these are actual TNG episodes.
Yeah.
And so
like 80% of these are TNG.
So my headcanon, the rest of those are season 8 episodes. So we would have gotten from Q to Q would have been season 8.
Let's not forget Mike McMahon got
wrote
his
season
start
8.
in Star Trek
Yep.
because of his season 8 Twitter. From Q to Q actually sounds like an actual episode to me, and it's now going to be in my brain. So next time I have to think of a Q episode title, that's going to probably pop in first. But
There's something is Twitter. I know it's a very common phrase, but Borg Encounter. I'm like, was that the one in Vegas?
that was the Vegas one, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Was it Borg Adventure?
No,
or
I'm
Borg?
No,
sure
I think it
it
was
was
Borg
Borg
Encounter. I might be wrong because the great. Now
I mean, the only other one that isn't a title is carbon-based units, but that's used
or
in,
Survival of the Fittest.
or Survival of the Fittest. But
And it's not called Naked Time. I mean, is it? I know there's Naked Now.
and Naked Time.
It
Yes,
is.
those are the two.
Okay. And Naked
Yeah.
Time is the TNG one because I always forget which one is which.
Don't ask me. I don't know.
Okay.
Star
I think
Trek,
the
so
Naked
that-
Now is the TNG one.
Okay.
Yeah,
I think the Naked
so.
Time
Is
is
it
the
TOS?
one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then carbon-based units, I was thinking of the early TNG episode where they were like carbon-based, but it's not actually the
Ugly
name of the
bags
episode.
of mostly
Yeah,
There you go.
water.
ugly bags of mostly
That's
water.
what I was
That's what I was thinking of too.
I don't know
That's
how that
funny,
would
though.
make for a good drill, like simulation, but I guess maybe it would. I don't know.
Well, again, it's an ethical dilemma of kill the indigenous life form or save the mining rights. I don't know.
Yeah. Now, would
know
you
what that
kill the Klingon Daniel who wants to die? or-
That one. Okay, yeah, let's start just going through some of these drills because that was obviously the heart of this episode, and we all know this is from TNG Ethics, where Worf has not picking up a peanut, but,
Barrel.
has a barrel fall
barrel roll.
on him. And breaks his back, and he wants to ritually die. And they just kind of take it to the nth degree where
That's a different
he's-
episode.
Yes. Where he's just like, I love from the other two, not even medics, but like in surgical scrubs, they're like trying to kill him, but they're like, call it life. No. What'd you guys think of this? I mean, it almost felt like a Robot Chicken episode. Like they were just hamming it up.
Yeah, the scenarios came very quickly, and which is it's good. This is the exact type of format for that sort of thing. Specifically, Tendy's Klingon one. It did have me laughing the whole time because I'm like, this is so ridiculous.
'Cause I like how quickly she turned.
Kill me now.
Once she discovered,
Why is this patient still alive?
I liked once she discovered, oh, this isn't working. I really need to kill him. She's like, all right, let's kill you. And it's like, no, I need my ritual knife. She's like, oh, well, okay.
Right, she could have just killed him right there. But yeah. No, and
They have so many redundant organs. It was good.
But I enjoyed that in some ways. I enjoyed them kind of doing a skit format with all of these scenarios, so that way they're not going to use them in the future for like a full episode. We're not going to do a full Western Planet episode. We can just do a quick Western skit, which I like. We're not going to dwell, but I just like touching these things. Yeah.
Well, and you had the Mirror Universe episode. And it's really funny looking at Memory Alpha because they list everything so thoroughly. It's like, Boimler, mirror holographic Boimler. it's like, oh my gosh. I mean, you're not wrong, but that's very specific about what was in
Wait
this
a
episode.
minute. My Mariner is right-handed.
Right-handed, aha. Yeah, and it was interesting, though, where Mariner kept trying to, they all approached it in different ways. Mariner kept trying to deviate outside of her pod and ran into the wall multiple times. And then Boimler's was funny, where he just kept, his score wasn't good enough, or he felt that it wasn't good enough. And he's eventually, trying to save the Borg babies, trying to, do peace, teach, empathy to the Queen.
Beat her at chess.
Who was voiced by
Alice
Krieg.
Yes.
Which was cool to bring her back.
Because when I was watching this episode and they had the Borg, and I'm like, they're not really doing the real sound effecty Borg voice. It's someone naturally doing a Borg voice. Or we are the Borg. But you got to have that filter that. And I'm like, oh, but then when the Queen talked, I'm like, oh Jesus, that's how you do that. That's a Borg voice.
Oh, that tickles.
Yeah. What did you think of the Borg encounter? Did it feel like you were playing Elite Force 2 or whatever that game was?
I don't know if it was bringing you all flashbacks from your RPG Borg encounter.
No, I don't. I blocked that out. I don't want to talk about that.
No, it was, it was good. It was, it's this episode did a lot of like you mentioned, Philip. It's like this quick sort of, because it's done through this, through the holodeck, like we can get through a lot of stuff.
It's not a holodeck.
That's right, TM.
We can get through a lot of this stuff without actually having to, like, so no Borg here, no actual,
There's no setup. We don't have to create a whole episode.
Why are we here?
Why are they in a mirror universe?
No mirror, like,
That's a good
exactly.
point.
We're not actually going to the mirror universe. Like, it's just it's distilled to the joke. And that's good. I like that. I like that we don't have to, like, all the hard work has been done through Star Trek mumbo jumbo, so it's just fun. And again, like bringing back Borg babies, it's one of those things. That's like
I love the Borg baby
In the drawer.
He's got them like tied over his shoulder from their umbilicals.
And I love the progression too. Like he just closes the drawer with the babies in them the first time he does it, and it's like 74%. And then next time you see him like carrying 4 babies under his arms and stuff.
And I like
it's good.
the little one's trying to reach for his button that he's about to press.
I liked the escalation. I really did. And I thought it was well done and in character for Boimler. And I like, ultimately he comes out as the hero for this. Like he's the one that's like, it's just because he's sticking to it. So,
and I think the thing that we all liked, unfortunately, I'm not saying it's good that we like this, and I'm also speaking for all of you, is that Boimler won and Mariner lost.
Yes.
Mariner was incompetent. I mean, basically. And then Boimler was like, I know exactly what to do. Boop, 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 boop. And we're like, that's how it should be, maybe? I don't know.
At least
that's a good point. If the Borg one was rigged, because she said all of them were rigged, but he still beat it.
I mean, not the horse. That was on you, buddy. So.
Yeah.
It was something they stuck with was the horse.
I think it would have been funny if she, instead of not even be able to write it, was always trying to make like a jump over a little ravine or something, like in Generations, where he's like, every time I made that jump, my heart would clench, but not this time because it's not real. I think the pacing of the jokes I think worked really well. Again with the Borg encounter. Like he gets out, he gets like 83%. Then he like goes all in. He's like rescuing half the collective, and it's like 84%. And he's like, "Come on!"
I also love this. It's such a simple joke, but I love it because it almost reminds me of like the old days. All right, younger kids, you won't know this one, but when you had text-based games and you had to be like, "Look left, open the can," and all that stuff. When Rutherford doesn't have gloves on. I mean, that's.
I almost forgot about.
And I remember in the scene, if you remember it, Spock takes the gloves off of Scotty after he neck pinches him. Or no, McCoy, I think. But anyway, it doesn't matter.
Right. Well, he grabs the gloves from Scotty.
Yeah.
To get in.
But I just like Rutherford's like, I know what to do. Chow! Chow!
Stupid radiation.
And you just see the Enterprise.
That's true. We did. In fact, it was literally the Enterprise from the movie, but it was. I thought Rutherford's was great. Again, it was just like Tendy's. It was just enough where it was like the scenario. Here it is. Here's the jokes. Like in my mind, Mike McMahon or whoever the writer was that did that was like watched that episode or the movie or the episode or whatever, and was like all along was like, wouldn't it be funny if they tried to open the door and it was just like too hot or whatever,
Well, and once they came up with this concept of this episode, it's brilliant for this type of joke formatted show because, like Philip said, it's like you're on automatic fire and you're getting all these jokes without having to do tons of setup. Because like, when else could you have told that kind of a joke? Is it going to be him on another ship trying to do the similar thing, but it can't look just like the Enterprise, but this time it can because of the way they set it up.
Yeah.
And also that's really cool. I mean, because if you had the list, like the top 10 most emotional moments in all the Star Trek franchise, the Spock end of Star Trek 2 would be on it. And so I think it's hard to take an emotional. Well, I mean, if you don't know, it doesn't matter to you. But if you do, that's like an emotional moment. But to make it just funny, and they did it. I mean, to me, it worked 100%. But I just think that's a good way of good writing of how to make that. I'm sacrificing myself for the ship. Be like, ow! I'm trying to sacrifice myself.
Sacrificing. He just couldn't do it because he couldn't get the door open. Well, and then of course we have the polywater. Naked time.
Hang on, real quick before you jump ahead. I'm just trying to think now, and I hadn't done this before, but like specifically for Rutherford and maybe for Tendi. I don't know how you would make it for Tendi, but like I'm thinking, she said that lady alien who can split into three. She said that they had fixed all of those scenarios. Maybe they like didn't give him the gloves. I don't know if like that's the case.
Oh, like that makes sense.
I just thought of it as the setup for the joke, and it worked for that. But maybe that's also why he failed. I don't know.
And the Klingon is super durable and can't die.
Yeah, or whatever. I guess I didn't go back and think
like she could cut off his head and then he's still alive somehow.
Lousy redundant head.
But yeah, and then we get, the mirror with the right and left hand. We have the polywater intoxication incident where everybody's naked. I'd rather they get it out of their system in this little pod joke than a whole episode. So.
Yeah, like by the way, I mean I've gotten I got burned by the Megado episode that when I saw the LSV language. Sexual content and violence rating come up for this episode. I'm like, okay, the S, I know they earn that S every time, so we'll see. And I don't know, it's not funny, it's weird. I mean, on Twitter today, this Sunday when we're recording, like that's the big Star Trek Twitter thing is this scene, and I'm just like, nah, whatever. It's everyone can have their own opinion, but I'm like it's fine. It was silly. It's an exaggeration, and everything's censored. It's fine. It didn't last too long.
Yeah, it's obviously silly to the point of
it's absurd.
It is
really.
absurd.
Yes.
So it's like
that's supposed to be.
It's so silly that it's tame. Like it's not.
And it's the apex of Mariner just being done with this test. Yeah. Like it starts to get faster and faster and more rapid, and then it gets to this one, and she's just like, "No, I'm done with this," and jumps out of the airlock.
Nope.
And that's
why did I die?
And that's the point.
I forgot you jumped out of the airlock. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, just to get away from Shax, who she has to share the bridge with later. But
yeah, I got lots of stupid, sexy Flanders.
Yes, exactly.
I'm just wearing nothing at all. Nothing at all. Stupid, sexy Shax. Can't.
I just got to stretch up here in the front of the bridge.
And then that was also fun where they're on the bridge and they're trying to just get out of space dock. It's the classic, Star Trek 3 stealing the Enterprise.
I forgot that.
and they're arguing so much that they don't get the door open in time and just crash. And they're like, wow, we didn't even make it out of space dock.
Okay.
Like, that's
negative points. I don't know what I can do here.
And then, besides those moments, we have the senior crew being ensignized and have to do. And so what did you guys think of this part? Because towards the end, the realization they take away of is twofold. It's, remember those days where you didn't have to worry about anything and it was really calm and easy, but also not being in the loop is really stressful when you are on a starship.
If I'm supposed to stack these, why are they shaped this way?
that was the best line. Which is totally right.
What do you mean?
Yeah. Never mind. Go back to stacking. Go back to stacking those pods.
I'm not. I might sound like I'm criticizing, but honestly, this is actually probably one of my favorite episodes that we watched of the show. But it's like
it's up there with the movie one for me.
Yeah.
Like it's tons of references, but really well done in a unique way.
It's like you don't get as much of the senior people like as you do of the lower decks people going up. You don't get as much of the. We get the one scene where they're all talking at the after the ship, and it's like they're like, oh man, like they're reminiscing about back there when they were lower decks people, and that was great. It was a great scene. It was funny, and again, it was all set up for what we see later. you could kind of see where, in the beginning of the episode, you can kind of see what was going to happen here, where they were going to be like, everybody's going to learn to appreciate each other. And
Right.
but then
We weren't shocked by that revelation at the end.
But then they throw in the curveball of, also this lady's doing this to further her own career. So that's no longer the point. Like they were like, oh, you did this to teach us a lesson. And she's like, no, I actually wanted you guys to fail. So I don't know. I thought it was great.
But I think they still learned the lesson regardless of what she
and
did.
that's the point. Yeah, they still learned the lesson that was kind of expected, but it was also really well done. So I think they get away with it for sure in this episode.
Yeah. I mean, you know they basically sleep in a hallway, right? Oh, yeah.
and then at the, I guess the third act, or the third twist, is we have Boimler's trying to keep the test going while they put the real Cerritos in more harrowing situations so that it'll scare so it goes back to the old, oh, you've sat behind a desk your whole life, you've never actually been in Starfleet, you've never actually been out here, how can you judge us? Which, worked, but it was kind of...
It reminded me, I don't know if this is what they were going for, but it reminded me of I can't remember the name of the episode, the Voyager episode with the invisible scientists who are experimenting on the crew, and then Janeway just flies the ship into a double star.
That's true. That is true. Yeah, not letting her sleep, and she just kind of cracks. I loved how they kept lots of crystalline entities in this. There's a crystalline entity devouring a planet.
It's like crystalline entity.
Yeah, that was again like a really fun way to talk about crystalline entities, because why not?
I did like, and I forget the techno babble, but it was like, get us out of here, and Ruffler's like, dude, and he goes, zoop.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I mean, when I said black hole, I meant it's just a regular black hole.
Yeah, when I said temporal black hole, I really meant just a regular black hole. But you would have known that if you actually served on a bridge.
Because it made me laugh, because it looked like exactly like the opening of the titles when they
it did. Does that mean we're going to have a Borg fighting the
Guys,
Romulans?
I know
Klingons,
you
fighting
keep
the
thinking
Packlets?
I'm insane. They change it every episode. I swear to all that's holy,
I am
change
this close to finding a rip of the intro from every episode and literally doing a comparison.
They did not have an exploding bird of prey last time. I'm telling you.
Okay, I'm doing it.
Just do
I'm gonna,
one from
I'm
the
do
most
comparison.
recent episode, from the first episode.
No, we can't. That's assuming. We can't make assumptions.
Well, I can tell you right now it's different, because there's no Packlets in the first episode.
There's also no Packlets
not
in this episode.
not in the first season, but I think there are in the second season.
In the titles, I mean. Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
We're all
We'll see.
unsure. We need to.
Because then, and I can tell you right now, there were no
spectral analysis.
There were no Klingons in there, because it was just
were
Romulans
there? I don't
aboard,
even know. I can't trust.
And then
my
they're
own memory
Packlets. Now
at
they've
this
added
point.
bird of prey, and then so.
But we get Boimler out, and he.
Did I get 100? Did I get 100?
Yeah. It's like, yes, you did. Yes, you did. And the Cerritos lower decks gets better replicators. Sure.
What's pesto?
Because that's a thing. Yeah, pesto.
That was funny.
I like how pesto was like the big thing.
Because she goes, "What is this?" And you're thinking it's going to be like, "Oh, it's Gach," or it's like something great. It's denobulin, whatever. And it's somebody.
You know what? I would have laughed even more, because they're like dragging a whole replicator down the hall. Like, here you go. And I would have loved if it ended up being like a crate, and they just open it, and there's like an itty bitty chip they take out, and they just put in their replicator, and like, there you go. Now you have access to all of our special upper deck stuff.
But here's the thing. Here and I've ragged on Lower Decks for this before. This was a heartwarming ending. This was not like
it was.
It wasn't the setup for a joke. I mean, there were jokes in there, but
they actually learned a lesson.
They were like the Upper Decks people really appreciated the Lower Decks people, and were like, "We're going to do something nice for you." And it's like, "Hey, that's awesome." That's exactly kind of what this thing would like. You can still have jokes in there. Like the pesto thing is a joke. The lobster macaroni and cheese, it's a joke, and that's funny and it's good. But like at the end, like the characters are being nice to each other, and that's awesome. Like that's I really enjoyed this episode for a lot of reasons, and that's one of them.
And they also added to canon/headcanon, because again, it's a cartoon. But if you're kind of wondering, like, why do they dress in different uniforms? We've never seen the ship, blah, 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 blah. But, like, the villain of the piece is like, nobody even cares about California-class ships. Like, it's sort of, like, added a layer to this world of, you know, what things are like, you know, and what the ship is like, and what, you know.
Like, they're almost reject uniforms. Like, nobody cares.
Yeah.
But, yeah, and also, you know, we got a lot of first and last names for a lot of characters on the big scare room floor billboard. So a lot more, you know, about these people. Yeah. So I'm overall, like, I think I agree with you, Daniel. This was one of the best, I think, in this season. Just nailed that fine line of like too many jokes. Like it had a ton of jokes, but it didn't feel like too many because of the setup. Like it was a really good framing device.
Yeah, and it didn't repeat the pattern we've seen before of pair-ups and Manor being awesome and Boimler being terrible, whiny, suck face. And
it was everybody was working towards the same goal as well, and also learning separate lessons along the way. It was... You know,
it's almost as if Star Trek is set up that the main characters aren't the source of the conflict, that it's outside for... It's crazy, guys. It's crazy. But anyway.
But, yeah. That's all I have on this episode. Is there anything else we missed?
Are you giving it 100%, Darren?
Gotta try it again. Do it again.
Let's record this thing again.
Yeah, I don't think, no, it was good. I think, and I'm also kind of glad it was just that general scoring of the Cerritos and it wasn't on that thread with Captain Freeman we've had where she's like trying to get from, like, there was none of that. Mm-hmm. It was very much if you try to pit us against each other, we're all just going to come back together and kick your butt because we're actually Starfleet and we're actually competent. I mean, it was really nice. Again, that last scene where they're zipping around into danger, quote unquote, like they're all on their A game, you know.
Like we know how to do this, you know.
Yeah.
This is every day for us. This is
every day.
We're Starfleet officers. Weird is part of the job.
Weird is the job description. All right. Anything else from either of you before we move on?
No. Let's 2 more until we close the series.
That's
right. All right, yeah. So at the time of this recording, we do not have a title for this week, so we cannot make wildly speculative guesses.
I mean, we can,
but I'm going to guess something Paklid that leads into a cliffhanger for the finale. That's the penultimate episode.
What character will either leave and or die?
Die with massive air quotes, because, you know, they could always come back next year.
So I'm going to say, my prediction, Captain Freeman gets reassigned or promoted, and Mariner has to deal with her mom leaving.
Does that mean...
Oh, and who's the new captain?
I was going to say, is Ransom the new captain, or are they going to bring someone else?
The new captain will be standing by on Vulcan. I know how these things work.
They could bring a canon character in, for the first episode of
Captain Jellicoe.
No,
I was,
he was old.
It's a little too on the nose.
Yeah. Let's think. Who could they bring in? Someone fun. You don't expect Ro Laren. Let's go. Captain Laren. Let's go. I guess we Captain Ro.
Mariner would like that. She's like, she used to be Maquis. She's cool.
Captain Geordi would be cool.
Captain Geordi would work.
Well, no, he's not directing this episode, so he's not going to show up. Oh, no.
At this point, you could just phone him, and he could, give lines. It's animated. It's easy. I don't know. It's not Riker. It's not going to be anywhere. Do we think here's a question. Do we think we're going to see the Titan again before the end of the season?
Oh, I don't think so, but I don't know.
I mean, I'm still hoping for a crossover with
his transporter double
copy. Yeah, I think that would be funny and work well. But I don't know. We'll see what we get. Yeah, I don't know. But I mean, I'm pretty sure we're greenlit for season 3 at this point, right?
Yes.
Which is good, because this is a pretty consistently good show. We've been enjoying it.
I like it.
So then in 3 weeks, is it?
Prodigy,
right? Yeah.
Yeah, Prodigy's coming at us. I think it's the 28th of October. So for us in 4 weeks, basically. A little under 4.
Exciting.
Yeah.
More animation.
In a very different direction.
It's like Adult Swim over here.
All right. Well, Philip, if someone wanted to talk to you about where you store your engineering gloves, where would they find you?
They can open that drawer and tweet at me at NC Public Servant.
And Daniel, if someone wanted to look in that drawer, maybe it has Borg babies, where would they find you?
Well, you won't find any babies around here, but you can find me on Twitter at OneUpDan. That's the number 1, not the word.
It's what he calls his dogs.
Fur babies. That's right. Yep.
And, now I'm just picturing a assimilated dog.
Oh, that makes me really sad. I don't want to see a assimilated dog.
Well, it makes you think of what is it like that?
This'll tickle.
That Fallout dog. That you
dog
have?
meat?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I know he's not like Borgified, but he's got armor and stuff on him. Well, if someone wanted to talk to me about woodworking drawers, because why not, they can find me on drsci-fi.com, DRSCIFI.
Hang on, are the drawers, are you woodworking them to make them, or are there woodworking tools inside the drawers?
Both.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Actually, if they want to know, they can go to drsci-fi.com. No. All right. Well, I'm Darren Moser.
Philip Gilfus.
I'm Daniel Prue.
Stranded here in holo-pods on City Alpha 3.